What if I told you that in some of the world's most fascinating places, December 25th is just another Tuesday? While you might be sipping hot cocoa and opening presents, billions of people across the globe are going about their regular day, completely unbothered by Santa Claus or jingle bells. Christmas is one of those holidays we often assume everyone celebrates, but the reality is far more interesting. In fact, over 60 countries don't recognize Christmas as a formal public holiday. This includes massive nations like China, where over 1 billion people live, as well as countries like Japan, Saudi Arabia, Vietnam, and Turkey, from Afghanistan to Yemen, Algeria to Uzbekistan. Christmas simply isn't on the official calendar. But here's where it gets fascinating. Just because Christmas isn't a public holiday doesn't mean people ignore it entirely. Take Japan, for example. Despite having only a tiny Christian population, the Japanese have embraced many secular aspects of Christmas with their own unique twist. Gift giving, elaborate decorations, and Christmas trees have become popular, even though most people work on December 25th. In fact, eating Kentucky Fried Chicken on Christmas Eve has become a beloved tradition in Japan, with families ordering their buckets months in advance. Now, let's travel to the places where Christmas really comes alive, starting with the incredibly diverse continent of Africa. Christianity in Africa has created some of the most vibrant and unique Christmas celebrations you'll find anywhere on Earth. In Chad, a landlocked country in north-central Africa, Christmas traditions blend African culture with Christian faith in beautiful ways. The celebrations here reflect the country's religious diversity and cultural richness. Egypt offers us one of the most interesting Christmas stories. The Coptic Christians in Egypt celebrate Christmas largely on January 7th, not December 25th. This date follows the ancient Julian calendar rather than the Gregorian calendar most of the world uses. January 7th is actually a public holiday in Egypt, allowing Coptic Christians to celebrate their faith openly. The Coptic Christmas, or Gena, involves fasting, special church services, and family gatherings that honor centuries of tradition. Moving south to Ethiopia and Eritrea, we find more January 7th celebrations. In Eritrea, Christmas is called Ledet, while Ethiopians call it Gena. These celebrations are deeply spiritual and involve unique traditions you won't find anywhere else. Ethiopian Christmas includes a special church service that can last for hours, with worshipers standing throughout. After the service, people play a traditional game, also called Gena, similar to hockey, which legend says the shepherds played when they heard about Jesus' birth. Nigeria presents a fascinating Christmas picture because religion in this West African nation is split almost equally between Christians and Muslims. Christmas Day is a public holiday, and the celebrations are spectacular. Urban Nigerians often make a special journey to their ancestral villages during Christmas time. This isn't just about nostalgia. It's about family, community, and responsibility. Gift giving in Nigeria carries a deeper meaning than in many Western countries. It's not about exchanging presents of equal value. Instead, gifts flow from the more fortunate to the less fortunate. Money is often given as a gift, and those who have been blessed financially see Christmas as an opportunity to bless others. This creates a beautiful cycle of generosity, where successful family members return home to support their extended families and communities. Senegal might surprise you. This is a Muslim majority country, yet Christmas has become a popular holiday. The Senegalese have embraced Christmas celebrations, showing how cultural traditions can transcend religious boundaries. Markets fill with decorations. Families gather for special meals, and the festive spirit touches both Christian and Muslim communities. South Africa celebrates Christmas on December 25th as a public holiday, despite being thousands of miles from Europe and experiencing summer heat during December. South Africans have maintained many traditional Christmas customs, but they've also adapted them to local conditions. Santa Claus still makes an appearance, though he might be sweating under that red suit. Communities come together to sing Christmas carols, creating a unique blend of European traditions and African musical styles. The harmonies you'll hear in South African Christmas carols are absolutely breathtaking. Ghana calls Christmas by a special local name, Branya. Both December 25th and 26th are recognized as public holidays, giving Ghanaians plenty of time to celebrate. Ghanaian Christians typically observe Christmas by attending church services on the 25th. These services are joyful musical affairs that can last several hours. The sense of community during Ghanaian Christmas celebrations is powerful, with families traveling long distances to be together. Tanzania, being a Christian majority country, makes Christmas a public holiday. The celebrations here blend traditional Christian observances with distinctly Tanzanian cultural elements, creating yet another unique expression of this global holiday. Now, let's hop across the Atlantic Ocean to explore how Christmas unfolds in the Americas, particularly in the vibrant Caribbean region. The Bahamas brings us one of the most exciting Christmas traditions anywhere, Junkanoo. These festivals are held on Boxing Day, which is December 26th, and again on New Year's Day. Junkanoo is an explosion of color, music, and energy. Elaborate costumes, pulsing drums, brass instruments, and dancing crowds fill the streets in the early morning hours. The tradition has African roots, brought to the Bahamas by enslaved people who were given a few days off around Christmas. Bahamian Christmas foods tell their own delicious story. Benny cake, made with sesame seeds, has roots in African cuisine. Coconut cake showcases the tropical ingredients available on the islands. These aren't just desserts. They're edible links to history and culture. Cuba has a long and complex tradition of celebrating Christmas. For years during the Castro era, Christmas celebrations were suppressed, and December 25th wasn't a public holiday. But Cuban families never completely abandoned their traditions. They found quiet ways to maintain their customs. In recent decades, Christmas has made a comeback in Cuba, with more public celebrations and the holiday being restored to the official calendar. Cuban Christmas blends Spanish Catholic traditions with Afro-Cuban cultural elements. Jamaica shows us how seriously people take Christmas preparation. Jamaicans paint their houses and hang new curtains specifically for Christmas. This isn't just spring cleaning. It's about renewal and welcoming the holiday season with fresh surroundings. The tradition reflects a deep respect for the holiday and a desire to mark it as truly special. Jamaican Christmas also features incredible food, including Christmas cake soaked in rum and sorrel drink made from hibiscus flowers. What all these diverse celebrations show us is that Christmas, whether as a religious observance or a cultural festival, takes on the flavor of each place it touches. In Egypt, it follows ancient calendars. In Nigeria, it strengthens community bonds through generosity. In Senegal, it bridges religious differences. In the Bahamas, it explodes into street festivals with African roots. In Jamaica, it inspires people to beautify their homes. The countries that don't celebrate Christmas as a public holiday remind us that our familiar traditions aren't universal. Yet even in places like Japan, elements of Christmas have been adopted and transformed into something new and locally meaningful. Christmas around the world is really a story humans adapt, adopt, and create meaning. It's about how a holiday that started in one specific place has been embraced, modified, and reimagined by countless cultures. Each celebration tells us something about the people who practice it, their values, their history, and their hopes. From the Coptic Christians fasting before their January 7th feast in Egypt to the Junkanoo dancers in their spectacular costumes in the Bahamas. From Nigerian families traveling to ancestral villages with gifts for relatives, to Jamaicans painting their houses in preparation. Christmas is as diverse as humanity itself, and that diversity makes it all the more fascinating to explore.